My wife panicked and shouted, "Someone broke into the house." Then she blamed my best friend for it. I said, "All right, I'll call the police." But she didn't know that I'd installed a hidden camera a few days ago. When I checked the footage, she was the one staging the break-in herself. The police arrived, watched the video, and the officer said, "Ma'am, put your hands behind your back." Dear friends, please subscribe to my channel and support me. Thank you. I'm Daniel, 38, and I've been married to Rachel for 11 years. We met in college, got married young, and built what I thought was a solid life together. No kids. We'd been trying for years, but it just never happened. Looking back now, maybe that was a blessing. 3 weeks ago, I started noticing things. Small things at first. Rachel would get text messages late at night and immediately flip her phone face down. She started going to the gym more often, which should have been great, except she never actually looked like she'd worked out when she got home. No sweat, makeup still perfect, hair still done. When I asked about it, she'd get defensive, say I was being controlling. Then there was the money. We've always kept joint accounts, complete transparency, or so I thought. I'm a project manager at a construction firm, and I make decent money. Rachel works part-time at a boutique downtown, but her income was never really about paying bills. It was her spending money. Except suddenly, there were withdrawals I couldn't explain. 500 here, 300 there. When I brought it up, she said it was for gifts, for clothes, for things she deserved. "I work too, Daniel," she'd said, her voice sharp. "I'm allowed to spend money without you interrogating me about every purchase." I dropped it. I shouldn't have. My best friend since high school, Trevor, had been acting weird too. He'd come over less, and when he did, there was this tension I couldn't place. Trevor and I had been through everything together. His divorce 2 years ago, my dad's death, all of it. But lately, when Rachel was in the room, he wouldn't make eye contact with me. He'd look at his phone, make excuses to leave early. For days before the break-in, I was cleaning out the garage and found an Amazon package addressed to me that I never ordered. Inside was a small security camera, the kind you can hide and access remotely. I didn't order it, but I also didn't throw it away. Instead, I set it up in our bedroom, angled toward the door and the dresser. I told myself I was being paranoid, that I'd check it once, see nothing, and delete everything. I wish I'd been paranoid for no reason. The break-in happened on a Tuesday afternoon. I was at a job site about 40 minutes away when Rachel called me, absolutely hysterical. "Daniel, someone broke into the house. They took my jewelry. They went through everything. Oh my God, you need to come home right now." I told her to calm down, asked if she was safe, if anyone was still in the house. No, they're gone." "But Daniel," her voice cracked. "I think it was Trevor." I froze. "What?" "I saw someone leaving when I pulled into the driveway. I swear it looked like his car. And you gave him a spare key last year, remember? When he was house sitting." I did remember. Trevor had returned the key, but Rachel was insisting he must have made a copy. She was crying now, saying she always felt weird around him, that she never trusted him but didn't want to say anything because he was my best friend. "Call the police," I said. "I'm on my way." I left the site immediately, my mind racing. Trevor wouldn't do this. He couldn't. But why would Rachel lie? Unless... I pulled over and opened the security camera app on my phone. I'd almost forgotten about it. My hands were shaking as I scrubbed through the footage from that afternoon. At 2:47 p.m., Rachel came home. Alone. She walked calmly into the bedroom, looked around, then started pulling drawers open. She threw clothes on the floor, dumped jewelry boxes out, knocked over picture frames. She was staging it. Methodically. She even opened the window from the inside, then messed up the curtains to make it look forced. Then she pulled out her phone and made the call to me. I watched it 3 times to make sure I wasn't seeing things. I wasn't. When I got home, there were already 2 police officers in the living room. Rachel was sitting on the couch, tissue in hand, looking devastated. She stood up when she saw me. "Daniel, thank God you're here." I didn't hug her. I just looked at her, then at the officers. "Officers, before we go any further, I need to show you something." Rachel's face went white. "What are you talking about?" I pulled out my phone and opened the app. I have a security camera in the bedroom. I installed it a few days ago. One of the officers, a woman in her 40s with tired eyes, stepped forward. "Can we see the footage?" I handed her my phone. Rachel started talking fast. "Daniel, what is this? You put a camera in our bedroom without telling me? That's insane. That's, ma'am, The officer interrupted, her eyes still on the screen. You need to stop talking. We all watched in silence. When it finished, the male officer looked at Rachel with an expression I can only describe as disgust. Ma'am, put your hands behind your back. You're under arrest for filing a false police report. Rachel started crying. Real crying this time, not the fake stuff from earlier. Daniel, please, let me explain. I can explain. Explain what? I said quietly. Explain why you tried to frame Trevor? Explain why you staged a burglary. She was sobbing now, being handcuffed. I needed money, okay? I needed money, and I thought if we filed an insurance claim, we have a $1,500 deductible on our homeowner's policy, I said. You know that. So try again. She didn't answer. They took her away. Update 1. Rachel was released on bail the next morning. Her parents posted it. I didn't. I'd already called a lawyer and started divorce proceedings. I also called Trevor and apologized for even entertaining the idea that he could have been involved. He was furious. Not at me, but at Rachel. I knew she was off, man, he said. I've been trying to tell you for months, but I didn't know how. Tell me what? There was a long pause. I saw her car parked outside a hotel on 7th Street about 6 weeks ago. I was going to mention it, but then I thought maybe she was meeting a friend or something. I didn't want to assume. My stomach dropped. I asked him what day. He checked his calendar and told me. I cross-referenced it with our bank statements. She'd withdrawn $300 that same day, cash. I'd asked her about it at the time, and she said it was for a spa day with her sister. I called her sister. There was no spa day. I went through everything after that. Emails, phone records. I subpoenaed all of it through my lawyer. Turns out Rachel had been seeing someone for 7 months. Not Trevor. Someone from her gym. A personal trainer named Jason, 29 years old, who was very active on Instagram posting photos of his abs and his motorcycle. The cash withdrawals? Paying for hotel rooms because Jason still lived with 2 roommates. The jewelry she claimed was stolen? She'd already sold half of it at a pawn shop 3 months ago. I found the receipts in her car. Update 2. Rachel tried to come back to the house 5 days after her arrest. I'd changed the locks. She stood on the porch, banging on the door, yelling about her rights. I opened the door, but kept the chain lock on. You don't live here anymore. This is my house too. Not according to the restraining order I filed yesterday. You've got 60 seconds to leave before I call the cops again. She tried a different approach. Softer voice, tears. Daniel, please. I made a mistake. I was confused. Can we just talk? About what? About how you stole from me. About Jason? About how you tried to destroy Trevor's life to cover your own mess. Her face hardened. You're really going to throw away 11 years over this? You already did that, I said, and closed the door. She left, but not before screaming that I'd regret this, that she'd take me for everything in the divorce. Her lawyer tried. They claimed she deserved half of everything, including my retirement account and the equity in the house. My lawyer pointed out the adultery, the theft, the false police report, and the judge wasn't sympathetic. She got her personal belongings and her car. That's it. Update 3. The criminal case took longer. Rachel pled no contest to filing a false report and got 6 months probation, community service, and a fine. She also had to write an apology letter to Trevor, which he shared with me. It was 2 sentences long and didn't even sound sincere. Jason, the personal trainer, dumped her the week after her arrest. Apparently being publicly exposed as a cheater and con artist isn't great for someone's image. She tried to move back in with her parents, but from what I heard through mutual friends, that didn't last long. Too many fights. Last I heard, she was living with a coworker and working full-time at the boutique now because she needed the money. Trevor and I are good. Better than good, actually. We started a weekly poker night with some other guys, and it's been solid. He's dating someone new, and she's great. Nothing like his ex-wife. As for me, I'm doing okay. Better than okay, honestly. The house is quieter, but it's mine. I've been sleeping better than I have in years. No more wondering where the money's going. No more weird texts at midnight. No more gut feeling that something's off. The divorce finalized 2 months ago. I kept the ring, not for sentimental reasons, but because it's evidence of how much I've learned. I'm not bitter. I'm just done. Edit 1. A few people asked if I ever confronted her about Jason directly. I did, once, over email during the divorce. She said it just happened, and that I was emotionally unavailable. I didn't respond. Edit 2. Yes, the camera footage was admissible in both the criminal case and the divorce. My lawyer said it was one of the clearest cases of fault he'd seen in years. Edit 3. Trevor's doing great. We went to a baseball game last weekend. Life's good.